Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a rapper out of Chicago by the name of KTS Dre. Now, this story has to be the craziest story, man, and it's coming out of Chicago, so no pun intended there, right? Well, KTS Dre, it seems like he's got a crew up there in Chicago, man, with another guy. I think his name is KTS Vaughn or KTS Cutthroat or something like that. But what's making headlines is the fact that KTS Dre lost his life yesterday in a shameless, senseless gun violence attack. But man, it was an ambush like none had ever seen, man. Because KTS Dre was allegedly shot over 64 times. Now, this is wild to say the least, because I mean, it seems like it was like planned out to the T on some movie type stuff, man, to quote Boosie, you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to be referencing a few different news reports to talk about this story, but do me a favor. Before we get into the specifics, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this KTS Dre situation. And I'll be quoting a story from the Chicago Tribune by way of CWB Chicago News, and it goes like this. Basically, the headline says it all. It says, gunman kill rapper KTS Dre in ambush outside of Cook County Jail. Now, for those of you who don't know, Cook County Jail is the primary housing place for inmates or, for people who have been locked up in the Chicago area. Cook County Jail is famous throughout movies and stuff like that. And it's notorious for being, a dangerous place where a lot of these gangs and stuff that don't get along end up meeting up and getting into it and stuff like that, man. So it's a weird situation when it comes to that, man. It's notorious for being a rough jail and a rough place to go. Not saying that any jail isn't rough, but man, it's got a reputation to say the least, right? Now the story starts off by saying this. It says, gunman shot and killed a Chicago rapper Saturday evening as he walked out of Cook County Jail where he had been held for over a year on gun charges, according to multiple sources. The woman who bonded him out and an activist who works outside the jail to assist newly released detainees were also shot, the sources say. So basically, they're saying that KTS Dre was in jail for a weapons charge for over a year. It seems like if you peruse through his catalog and stuff like that, he had a rather decent following, man. And when you go and you look at his pictures and a lot of his interactions on social media, it seemed like he was getting into it with a lot of people. And he had an unpopular opinion about a lot of different things, man. He was talking about a lot of stuff, man. And I don't want to get to specifics because, people tend to run with those things. But, man, you can look that up for yourself. But dude seemed like he was, he was trying to do the rap thing, but still 1 foot in the streets. You feel me? That's a tough struggle for a lot of rappers. Now, the story continues by saying, Londre Sylvester, a 31-year-old who performed as KTS Dre, was pronounced dead at Mount Sinai Hospital shortly after the 8:50 p.m. shooting near the intersection of California and 27th Street. KTS stands for Kill to Survive, a phrase he also had tattooed on his neck, along with a target symbol. So KTS Dre got his name obviously from his first name being Londre. He shortened that to Dre, and then put that KTS in the front for Kill to Survive. That's a phrase like no other, man. Kill to survive. That goes to show some mentality, or maybe he just used that as a way to make his click sound tough. I'm not sure if he was really about that, but obviously somebody was upset at KTS Dre. You know what I mean? Because they even shot the person who was helping him, like the activist who helps detainees get released from prison, or from Cook County Jail, excuse me. Now, what's wild is this isn't the first time I've seen this stunt pulled. Like I've actually seen stories where people have been shot coming out of the Cook County Jail before. Now, let me go ahead and continue with the story. It says, public records show Sylvester was arrested April 27, 2020 on charges of being a felon in possession of a weapon and resisting police. A judge ordered him held in lieu of $50,000 bail the next day. During the same hearing, Sylvester was also held without bail on a parole violation, records show. The charges were later upgraded to Class X, armed habitual criminal. Now, I'm not sure about that classification, that Class X armed habitual criminal. But man, if that doesn't sound devastating, I don't know what does, man. Now, what's crazy is his mugshot is going viral right now. Like, a lot of people are passing around the news of this story with his mugshot, and you can see that he's got a broken nose, because I see his other pictures and his nose doesn't look like that naturally. So it looks like he had a little tussle when he got locked up, man. And you never know, what happened. He might have even got into a fight right when he went into the Cook County jail, because I've heard of that happening too before. Like, two people see each other and it gets down. So it's crazy, man. Crazy to say the least. All right. Now, he remained in sheriff's custody for over 400 days as of Thursday, according to the online sheriff's office records. However, a sheriff's office spokesperson declined to comment about the specifics of Sylvester's release. On Saturday evening, a 60-year-old woman posted the $5,000 deposit bond necessary for Sylvester to go home on electric monitoring, according to a source. So I'm guessing that woman was probably like either his mother or his grandmother or something like that, I believe they said. And she was the one posting the bond in order for him to get out of jail. Now, that's crazy, man. Like, for your granny or your mom or somebody in your family, an older lady in your family, to get shot, that's wild, man. Now, it goes on by saying, as Sylvester and the woman walked from the jail, at least 2 gunmen emerged from different vehicles and opened fire. Sylvester was shot in the face and chest. The woman was shot in her knee. Another bullet grazed the face of a 35-year-old woman who works under a tent outside the jail to provide social services for people upon their release, the sources said. Both women were in good condition, police said. State records show Sylvester had been sentenced to prison 4 times since 2010. 3 of those convictions were for weapons. Chicago police are leading the homicide and shooting investigation. Now, that was it for that story, right? Now, there's several other stories out there with crazy headlines that say this. In a separate report from thesun.com, it says this, man. It says rapper KTS Dre has been shot dead in brutal Chicago ambush. The 31-year-old, whose real name is Londre Sylvester, was shot at least 64 times as he left jail in a well-planned, targeted attack. The shooting occurred at approximately 8:59 p.m. local time, and this is on Saturday, right? Police found 59 shell casings littered across the street from the Cook County jail where the killing unfolded. The rapper was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. So in that story, they talked about finding 59 shell casings just to further prove that, yeah, he was probably hit about 64 times, which is crazy. Now, with all this, before we end this video, because it's dragging on kind of long, and, rest in peace to KTS Dre. I don't know him. I wasn't as familiar with his music, but the more that I looked into the situation and started to research it, I saw the falling that he had, and I saw a lot of people on different fan pages saying different things, as far as like rest in peace and talking about the situation in depth. Now, when it comes to people getting released from jail in Cook County, knowing that these cats are turned up like this, do you think maybe they need to change their procedures or something? Because this is wild. When you got the lady who's out there just doing the volunteer work, or not even volunteer work, the community work, because I believe she's like a social worker or something like that. She got shot, man, and there's 64 shots to the victim. Man, they was wilding, man. They were well planned out. This is crazy to say the least. And man, cats say that they outside. This is why I say I'm in the house. You know what I mean? This is wild. Because every major city is turned up right now for some reason. And we in the middle of the summer, so man, things are just going to get crazy. Hopefully not. Hopefully things don't get crazy. But what do you guys think? Do you think there should be some type of changes to the procedure there so that way, this never happens again in the future? Or do you feel like there's no way really to prevent this because once you're released from jail and somebody comes to bond you out, it's almost like public knowledge. Like it is public knowledge most of the time, right? So it's hard to prevent. Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.